Hello, I've just been out for a walk 2 kilometres and a run 2 kilometres back in the rain. It was really beautiful, but let's not dwell on that. Magical Mystery Tour. This was the first Beatles album. This was the first Beatles album I ever heard. It was about 2015. I bought it from a shop because I'd heard of the Beatles before, and I thought, well, that looks cool. Only Beatles song I'd heard before this was Hey Jude, really. And it made me go mad. I loved it so much because all I'd heard before that was music and video games, music and movies, and just the basic stuff on the radio. Like, I don't know what had been popular at that point. Katy Perry and shit. So when you come from this world of, early 2010s pop, and then this boy, he's only 10, he's suddenly listening to stuff like Am The Walrus. It blew my mind, and I thought it was completely brilliant. I loved it. I'd completely loved it so much. It was the best music of all time to me. It was all I listened to for about 2 years, apart from the Mario soundtrack and the Pokemon soundtrack. I was quite a nerdy kid. But anyway, software update will be auto-installed tonight, OS. Sorry, just reading notifications off my iPad. It's got a really unique sound. It doesn't sound like any of the other Beatles albums because it's not guitars or Indian or anything like that. What it is it's horns and that weird synthesizer and Ringo's crazy drumming, which is in all the Beatles albums, but it's particularly good in this one. In every track, Ringo already laid down a fat beat. And the orchestral... It's just got a really unique sound. And there's also a movie. About a bus. Speaking of a movie... No, I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's go on to the first song. That was a really nice cup of porridge. Anyway, Magical Mystery Tour is the first track on Magical Mystery Tour, and I think it's a really good one. I've put it at number 18. I like it because it's got the sound of bus on it. It's really catchy. Like, how often whenever I find myself on a bus, my first thought is, roll up for the mystery tour. Or whenever I'm on holiday, really, anywhere. In fact, whenever I'm anywhere on like a trip, that's my first thought. I love a boom, boom, sort of horn in it. The horn's lovely. Love a good horn, like a rhino. Animal. I like it. Really, it's quite symbolic for me because it's the first track on my first Beatles album. This is what segued me from This is what segued me from this album. Not only having heard Hey Jude to this album to the Paul's Dead conspiracy, which is where I went from this album for some reason. So the only Beatles songs I knew were Hey Jude, this album, and the songs in the 50 odd minute Paul is Dead video I used to watch about once every 2 weeks. Nattering on, but let's get back on topic. Magical Mystery Tour, yeah. It's very catchy. There's one good thing. The horns are nice. That's 2 good things. I like Ringo's bits. That's 3 good things. I like the sound of the bus crashing in the background. That's 4 good things. 4 times 4 is 16, which is the age I'll be when I leave school and go off to Germany. Or maybe Sierra Leone, or maybe Estonia, but I want to go off somewhere with a band, basically. Sorry for telling you my life story, mate. That's about it for Magical Mystery Tour. That's going in at number... The Fool on the Hill for me is alright, so that's why it's number 37. Probably not the best on the album. I like the message of the song, I like the story, I like the instruments. The anthology version's better, but instead of talking about the song like I do for every other song, I'll tell you a fun little story about it, for which I will turn on the light. God, I'm fit. No, ignore that. Cut that out. Don't cut that out. Too much effort in it. 2016 is the year. It's about April, May, June, around then. I'm with my mate George. Here's a photo of George. Whoa! Bet you thought I meant George Harrison, didn't ya? I did not, but he is on my badge. I bought one identical to this in Liverpool, but I lost it. So I bought the same one again for Christmas 2017. Anyway, back to my story. It's towards the end of year 6, so if you're American, that's 5th grade. Because it's towards the end of the year, and it's our last year at that school, primary school, or junior school, depends. You know, we're not really doing much work, so we're just all out on the school field, not really doing much, just sort of walking about. We all have our electronics, and I've bought a Sony Walkman, which is like a portable CD player, and I've got the album on, Magical Mystery Tour. I got the track Fool on the Hill on, so I listened to it, and then I realised Paul McCartney spends about half again, you know, moaning. The whole second half of the song he's doing that. So my mate George, I know he's got one of them sense of humours, like I have. So I say, oh, listen to this, and he's going, hey, it's a pretty good song to be fair. And then about 2 minutes later, he's suddenly on the floor just pissing himself laughing. It was a great moment. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Good old days. I mean, apart from most of it, it was a really shit period of my life, but that particular moment was good. So that's Fool on the Hill. Fool on the Hill. That's going in at number... Forgot, but I said it earlier, so it doesn't really matter.
Please, you must forgive me. I am old but still a child. All dead, but I should not grieve. In time it comes to everyone. All dead.
Flying is the kind of song I bet it'd be really good to listen to when you're in the sky, and I don't mean on a plane, although I have noticed they do play this on aeroplanes before they take off, probably just because it's called Flying and it comes up when you look up the word, which got banned off YouTube for doing that, but fuck the rules. It's very relaxing in a cool way. In the actual movie Magical Mystery Tour, when they play Flying, there's all these crazy coloured visuals, but fun fact, when Magical Mystery Tour first aired, it was in black and white, so it probably looked really, really boring, but the colour version looks pretty cool. It's a really chill song, so I imagine if you went... and listen to it, it would be really real. I just saw a dust particle float in front of me, that was crazy. If you got really high and listened to it, I'd imagine it'd be brilliant. But it's brilliant anyway, and I love the ending to it where it goes... That's quite a poor impression, but I like the end to it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna shut up now, that's about all I've got to say on Flying. That's going in at number... 19.
Of course I don't believe you're dead.
Blue Jay Way, yeah? The actual story behind it, by the way, it's in at number 45, because I know I'm going to forget. The actual story behind it is quite mundane. George Harrison himself, the man who penned this tune, was in Los Angeles, and he was in his mate's house, and his mate had gone out, and he was waiting for his mate to get back, and he was, you know, just sitting there in Blue Jay Way, which is where his house was. And then he wrote this song. And this song sounds a lot more dramatic and deep than the actual story, which is quite mundane. But hi diddly he, the monkeys are after me, as they say. That's about all I've got to say about it. I like the end bit, how it sort of like glitches out, even though it's before, you know, technology existed. Because all the Beatles' music was actually recorded on, like, rocks, because plastic didn't exist. It was before plastic was invented, and before metal was discovered as well. But, in other news, Ringo's drumming in this is impeccable. I like the sort of filters over, George's voice, and the actual, what do you call it? Oh, that's horrid. Oh, that's gross. Don't drink straight gin. That is absolutely disgusting. That is actually so gross. Never drinking that on itself again. That has got to be mixed with something. That was disgusting. Well, the gin was more disgusting. Sorry about all that spitting. I feel like I'm going to throw up. But yeah, drums are cool, George's vocals are cool. I got to go before I throw up, man. The good news is I didn't throw up. I had a chocolate biscuit and it got the taste out of my mouth. There is no bad news. Your Mother Should Know is going in at number 70, because although it appears to be a beacon of nostalgia, it's actually about nothing. And also the headphone mix is awful. Paul is like over here and everything else is over here. It just annoys me. I think the vocal should always be either centred or on left and right. Never just on left or just on right. Unless there's like two vocals, then one could be left, one could be right. But it's just not right. The vocals are the body of the song. They shouldn't be, you know, just sort of lumbering over here doing nothing, you know. It's weird. I don't like it. It's just not pleasant. Like that gin wasn't pleasant, actually. Ooh. Healthy. Gotta get out of this prison cell. Ignore that, actually. I don't know why I said that. Gotta get out. Gotta get out! But Your Mother Should Know, when I was younger, it was quite an emotional song to me, because I didn't know my mum growing up. Long story, don't even ask. Like, unless you want 45-minute video on my relationship with my mother. Not seen her since the 9th of May 2005. Doesn't really bother me. But when I heard it for the first time back in 2015, I was like, wow, this song has the word mother on it. So emotional. I didn't actually cry over it, but it was like a small amount of moving, so I probably would have rated it a bit higher, but then again, probably would have rated it quite highly. It would have been in the top 10, I reckon, because I only knew 11 Beatles songs then, but what we got was over 100 songs, so You know, 70 isn't even that bad. Fun story about I Am the Walrus is, I would never, when I was younger, yeah, seems to keep coming up, when I was younger, I would never play this song in front of my dad, because it said, you've let your knickers down in it, and it also said, pornographic priestess, and I thought he'd be like, Mah! But, you know, nowadays, I can play a song that says, fuck shit bollocks, and not even give it a second thought, really, but that's just aging, innit? Like, as you get older, don't really give a shit as much as you did when you were a clinical child. I think I was quite a clinical child, that's the word I'd use, clinical. But, yeah, I love it, I love the song, I love the way it sort of escalates and it goes to oompa, stick it up your jumper. I love the music video. I love the filter on John's voice, if it even is a filter. It's very catchy, I like the structure, I like the nonsense words, and I like the story behind it, that it was written by John, because all these people are analysing the Beatles lyrics, going, oh, it's so deep, it means this and this and this and this. So he wrote a song that's actually about nothing, it's just loads of nonsense words that don't mean anything. And I like the fact that King Lear is mixed into it, that's quite nice. Fun fact, again, once more, another fun fact, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. No, ignore that. Shit, I forgot. No, I remember. I totally remember. I used to think at the end it said, you serviceable pillock. It actually says, you serviceable villain. But I didn't know the word pillock existed at that point. And years later, I read it in a book. And I'm like, what? I thought I made that word up. But no, I'm actually psychic. Anyway, I think because it's I'm the Walrus, so you go put a mental costume on now with some sort of scarf and colours. I'll see you in like 5 seconds. On to side 2. I don't know what happened. I feel really weird. Anyway, Hello Goodbye, first track on side 2. It's got a nice music video, isn't it? Yeah, it's in at number 7. It's written by Paul and some other guy who I can't remember. And he sat down at the piano and he said, whatever I say, you say the opposite of it. So he started going, boom, 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 fast. And then the guy went, slow, hello, goodbye. And that's how they wrote it, basically. My favourite part of it is the bit where he goes, hey la, hey, 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 lua, cha, cha, at the end. But the actual song is solid, you know. It's got a very simple premise, but it works. It's making statements about, I don't know, positivity and negativity, I guess. If you know what I mean, Gene. If your name's Gene. If your name's Gene, please comment below that your name is Gene, because that would entertain me greatly. Hello, me. I'm looking in the mirror at myself. What a stunner. Hello again. Fuck am I wearing? What happened? What is this outfit, honestly? I don't know, man. But that's Hello Goodbye for you. I'm going on to the next song now. Here I go.
It's over, it's over.
Oh, hello. Me again. This time, I've come to talk to you about Strawberry Fields Forever, which, to me, is a very nostalgic song. I recall listening to it for the first time and thinking, wow. I'll go from the start to the end. That piano bit at the start, I can play that, actually. Here's a clip of that. I love that solo, it's brilliant, it's great, I can't explain it, it's like Victorian almost. And then John's vocals come in with this sort of drawl, if you know what I mean. You might know what I mean, if you don't, not really bothered anyway. And we go from this to those epic drums at start, and then they're in, and it's like, here's Ringo, watch out boys. And I think Ringo's drumming on all of Magical Mystery Tour is great. It's sort of slow and fast at the same time. Hello, goodbye, much. It's great. I love it, basically, is what I'm saying. And then the whatever is in the background, I don't have a clue what instrument that is, but it's brilliant. And the horns in the verses I like the first chorus, which has the guitars. And I like the words in it, even though they sort of mean something, but at the same time sort of don't. The meaning I've interpreted from it, I like. I'm trying kind of hard to explain what I think it means. It's basically John talking about this time of perfect innocence where you've got nothing going wrong, you know, nothing to get hung about. Not going to get hung, as in like up on a tree, or nothing to get hung up about, like hung up, cross. Both of those at the same time. Also, I also like the verses, which I think each have a different meaning. The first verse, no one I think is in my, no, it's the second verse. The first verse, it's getting hard to be someone, living as easy with eyes closed, is sort of hearkening back to that time of innocence. You know, breathing in, stopping, having a moment, it's getting hard to be someone sort of struggling with identity, which the Beatles were at this point, because they're coming from this perfect, clean image to these dirty, greasy, hippie hobos, which I'm obviously not. Keep the sleeves rolled up, boys. And what else? As I move from side to side with suspicion. What else? Weird pose. I like the end, how it stops and fades out and fades back in. I thought that was on purpose, but the original meaning behind that is George didn't like a bit of percussion that Ringo did, so he just sort of faded it out, to be honest. Which is honestly fair enough. But yeah, I think it's what you call a masterpiece. Cranberry sauce and all that at the end. Classic, solid song. You know, I think it's so solid. I think it's going in at number uno, number one, number un, itchy, whatever language you fucking speak. I mean, if you're Japanese or French or Spanish, I don't know if you made it this far into the video without giving up, but... Oh man. Oh, what's that? What's going on? That room is dodgy, man. Anyway. I can't even stand up because of my leg. What song are we on now? Isn't it? Wipe it in, boys. Wipe it in. I do believe that we're on... Especially I'm yelling my teeth bar, actually. Penny Lane is Paul's answer to John's song Strawberry Fields Forever. And it's the B-side to it. You may say it's a double A-side, but I consider Penny Lane to be the B-side, honestly. I don't know if you'd agree or disagree. Please comment down below. Or don't. It's not really a very interesting topic. But anyway... It's quite a good look, actually. I like this. Doesn't taste good now, I must be honest. It is like Smoker's denture cream. Penny Lane is a story song, like a nostalgia story song. Story? Song. A nostalgic story song in the same vein as Strawberry Fields Forever. But this one's more about specific places and events. It's about the area. It's really starting to sting. It's really starting to sting my skin now, this stuff. I'm in quite a lot of pain. That's not edible. Penny Lane is about the specific area Penny Lane, the people who live there, the banker, the fireman, the barber. You know, it's about characters, it's about people, and the nurse selling poppies. It's about finding joy and making fun of the mundane. If you get what I mean. That's my interpretation. And I like the horns, I like the chorus, and I like how the last chorus goes up. Goes from Penny Lane to Penny Lane. Goes up a bit. Which gives it this sort of magnificent, triumphant feeling or whatever. And I put Penny Lane in at either 13 or 17. There's a clip of me saying which one. It's neither. It's 19. Baby, you're a rich man too. It's probably one of my favourite songs on Magical Mystery Tour, despite the fact it's only at 19. Falling over. Dodgy. What's it called? Baby, you're a rich man. It's famous for being used at the end of the film The Social Network, about Mark Zuckerberg and the invention of Facebook. Fun fact. But the actual song is quite interesting. It's about rich people. How does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? The beautiful people not having anything to do with physical beauty. As I gesture towards myself, I jest. The beautiful people being more the rich bitch. And it's saying, have you travelled very far, gone everywhere? What was there? Not much. It's sort of that laissez-faire attitude that, I don't even know if I'm using that correctly, so don't count me on that. That, like, rich people have, like, spoiled people, as I sit in a massive bedroom. I don't have 3 bedrooms. I don't have 3 bedrooms, I'm actually in my nan's bedroom, which is why it's so nice. That's why I never film in my shit bedroom, because it's tiny. Anyways. And that, like, beige one I'm normally in, that's my dad's bedroom. Anyway. Why am I talking about bedrooms? Supposed to be talking about Baby, You're a Rich Man. Baby, You're a Rich Man is a Beatles song. But among other things, I like the bit at the end where you can really hear Ringo, where it's just like the two of them shouting. That's like the second to last time they say, Baby, You're a Rich Man. Naturally tuned to E, I like, because it makes me think of George Harrison's This Song is in E. You know that bit? Well, that's what I like about Baby, You're a Rich Man, Baby, You're a Rich Man, Baby, You're a Rich Man too. I like you keep all your money in a big black bag inside a zoo, or is it big brown bag, but it doesn't really matter either way. I like that line because it's just crazy, and that's what the Beatles were when they were doing Magical Mystery Tour. It's crazy, man. I think Magical Mystery Tour, yeah, is the perfect accompaniment to Sgt. Pepper. It's like DLC, like downloadable content. So you get Sgt. Pepper, and if you want dessert, you have Magical Mystery Tour as well. So what you should really do, I don't know if you've ever done this, listen to Sgt. Pepper in a place of Magical Mystery Tour. So A Day in the Life ends and then Magical Mystery Tour just starts straight away. The song. Anyway, I've nattered on for far too long. Let's go to the final track. All You Need Is Love. Hey. All You Need Is Love, yeah, is a Beatles song. It was broadcast live on that Our World thing in like June 1967. Fun fact. Well, not really fun, but true, I suppose. Well, it's got a very basic meaning. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. You know, have sex instead. That's how I interpret it. The real message, I jest of course about that, even though that is literally what the lyrics say. No point in making things, nothing you can make that isn't already made. Nothing you can make that can't be made, I think is the line, but that's just literal. Doesn't really mean anything, it's just, you know, hippie shit. Like me, actually, I'm hippie shit, but this is hippie shit in a bad way. It's just loads of bollocks, which the lyrics are a load of bollocks, but at the same time, it's a very important load of bollocks, because that's just the filler. That's like the lettuce, yeah? And the verse, all you need is love, is the important part. Now that, my friend, is the cucumber. slices of All You Need Is Love. That's the important part. That's the part with the verse. The verse? Shut up, Harry. You're talking absolute waz. That's the part that you remember. All you need is love. That's the words that went around the world in the summer of love at 1967 AD. Even though I don't believe in Jesus. Anyway, let's get back on track. Talking about all you need is love. I like the bit at the end where Paul says, "She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah." And I didn't clock that until it was about midnight. I was on the road to France. I was in France on the road to where we were staying. About 9, 10, 11, 12 sort of time. I don't really remember. It was 2 years ago. It was May 27th, maybe. 2017, I think was roughly the date. I had Magical Mystery Tour on CD. I had it in my ears. I didn't have the CD in my ears. I had the CD in the CD player with my headphones plugged into it. The CD Walkman, the same one I had in the story with George. The same CD as well. Yeah. And I was listening to it, and I hadn't heard She Loves You. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And before, when I first heard the album, when I was first doing my rounds of Magical Mystery Tour, listening to it every week. I didn't actually listen to it every week, but I listened to it quite frequently. When I first heard it, I hadn't heard She Loves You, because I didn't really like the Beatles. I just liked Magical Mystery Tour, the album. It's the only one I'd heard. But having heard it, I was just listening to All You Need Is Love, the last song. We were coming quite near to Amiens, which is where we were staying. And all of a sudden I hear Paul going, "She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, oh my god, that's from the other song. Wow, reference! And it was sort of a hallelujah moment. That's what I got to say on All You Need Is Love, which is going in at number 19. I would really fancy pork and beans, except it has to be fake pork because I'm a vegetarian. No, I don't eat pork. And I've not eaten pork since 2013. That was too much information. Here I go, I'm going to chuck myself down the stairs. Here I go, going to chuck myself down the stairs. Here I go.